Hello and welcome back to Organic Cardboard. My name is Owen and today I am over at Sean's house and is getting very close to Thanksgiving, and we thought we would talk about the games that we are most thankful for, at least very thankful for.
Indeed.
As we're getting close to this Thanksgaming season. So, big pun.
A big happy Thanksgiving to all of the Organic Cardboard viewers.
I told Sean maybe we could just skip Thanksgiving and do Thanksgaming, but I don't know if the family would agree with that. So I'll go ahead and go first. And so one game that is near and dear to my heart, even though I don't get it out a whole lot, is Sword and Sorcery. I've mentioned Sword and Sorcery probably a few times on other videos. And the reason why I'm so thankful for Sword and Sorcery is it's like, I'd say that's the first game that I really got involved with. It wasn't the very first game I purchased, but that particular game is it's a long kind of campaign dungeon crawler, and it was one of the first games that Ashley and I would play regularly together. I had a friend that was coming over for about a year working through the campaign, all three of us together. And I have just a lot of like nostalgic moments, I guess, and feelings towards that game, even though at this point there's a lot of other stuff that I'm kind of playing in place of it. Eventually I'll come around and finish that Ancient Chronicles set that I bought and didn't get through hardly at all.
No, I could say, as a person that's gotten to know Owen pretty well over the course of the year, and we've made a lot of subject matter videos, Sword and Sorcery is his favorite game.
Yeah, well,
you like Sword and Sorcery a whole lot.
I do. I've played it a whole lot, though, too, so I think that's part of why it doesn't get... Well, it's just a big game, so that's part of why it doesn't get on the table as much. I still definitely appreciate the game for what it is. What it does, it has solo options that you can pretty much have, more or less the same experience. You're just not sharing that experience with other people, but it works great as a co-op game as well. And we've had a lot of fun with it. So it's always going to be near and dear to the heart. So what is the first game that you are thankful for this season?
Okay, so and we're not. I don't think we're going in order of like we're most thankful to least thankful. If that's even a thing, my least thankful game of this season.
It's not even on this video.
But I am going to go back to my first, and that the reason I'm thankful for this game is because it kind of introduced me into a whole new world of board games. And since it's right here, I'm going to grab it.
Oh, sure.
I didn't bring it in because it's bigger than us.
Yeah. Yeah, Sword and Sorcery is a big box too. Oh yeah, this is one I still haven't gotten to get out with you yet.
Yeah, this is called Heavy Hitters, Giant Killer Robots. Okay, and it's not. Honestly, it's not a fantastic game. It's pretty good. Yeah, but it's not so good that you've ever seen it, right?
Right. Yeah, I've not. Well, I've seen it here, and I've looked
in the
it up
box,
a little bit.
right?
Yeah, we have not gotten it out just yet.
Yeah, so we will get it out and play it. In fact, I've just kind of learn the rules, but I'm thankful for this game. This was my first crowdfunded game. So
cool.
I didn't even know you could buy board games on Kickstarter.
Yeah, and then that's like where they're all at now.
And then I bought this. I think it was like over summer or something. I happened to notice because the people that make this are the people that do the special effects for one of my favorite movies, Chappie.
Oh yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
they did Lord of the Rings too, but but I loved that Chappie movie.
That was fun. Yeah.
And the stuff, the artwork and stuff, really really mimics a lot of the stuff that they've done. With the sci-fi stuff and District 9 also. They made a District 9 game. It didn't look very fun. I didn't buy it.
They made one specific for District 9.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
same company, same people, and everything. They got the IP for it and did it. So.
Yeah, IPs sometimes it's hard to make an IP game really good sometimes.
But kind of towards the end of that one, it became really expensive for what it was, but it opened me up to a whole new world of board games. It kind of like right after that, it was like Nemesis, Mysthea, and I could just start naming them all. That's what started it all.
Somewhat of a gateway game for you.
Yeah,
really
it was.
Start the addiction.
Well, back in the day, I mean, when I was really young, playing board games, it was like Axis and Allies and Risk, and I was like, that was well, I liked it okay, but it always seemed like it took so long, and it got kind of boring after you'd done it once or 20 times, and it was always the same games. We all had like the 5 games or something. So
not the most interesting mechanics for long term, but and that's certainly right up Sean's alley. That's at least half of your focus is big robots and. I guess the rest of it is space monsters.
In space!
Space monsters and robots, yeah. Okay, so again, not in any particular order here, but one game that I've really grown attached to over this past year or so that we've had it, I don't think we've even had it quite a year, but I play this game more than just about any other. I've probably played it more than any game that I have, I think, and that's Hive. And Hive is just this simple kind of, I guess you'd call it like a strategy kind of checker chess like game. But if you're not familiar with Hive, you've got all these different little hex tiles, and there's different kinds of little bugs, but they all have different special movements, and your whole goal is to surround the other person's bee. They'll have one bee tile, and so you got ones that move like 3 spaces this way. You got ants that can run anywhere around, and everything's having to be connected. But
I've got a copy of it too.
Oh yeah, well, we'll let Sean go ahead and grab that while I'm talking. But Hive, for the main reason why I'm so thankful for it though, is it's a game that Ashley and I play at least once a week. And on better weeks, it's 2 or 3 times. Played it a couple of times this past weekend. And what we do is we go out. We like to go out to eat in the weekend. We'll go out to like Panera Bread or something for breakfast, and then we'll sit. And I can pull this game out. Now Sean has this is the full size version of the game, and it's got hexes that are about this big. Even this is super portable. But I actually have the pocket size version. Yeah, that's the bee. That's the one that has to get surrounded.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got the pocket size version. I can literally stick it in my pocket as I'm going in the door, and the hexes on it are probably like a third the size maybe of these, if even that, a half to a third the size. And so it's super portable. There's really interesting scenarios every time you're playing the game. That all these different special movements and the repercussions for taking a certain action have. So it's thinky enough, but it's fairly quick, and it's
durable.
It's durable. Yeah, it's made out of that like domino tile resin, which feels really nice. It's got a nice aesthetic to it.
You spill beer all over this. You could spill this honey all over this, and still make it all right.
Yeah. There's about no way to ruin this game. You might ruin your bag eventually if you beat it around enough. But even the pocket-sized version is a nice cloth bag with a drawstring. Again, though, just a game that we have really come to love, and it's just a fun rivalry that we're having right now, where I like to trash talk Ashley a whole bunch every time we play, and then it's makes her super happy when she wins. So I'll keep the trash talking up. But Hive, that is certainly a game that I am very thankful that it was great. I'm thankful that you showed it to Sean. Showed this to me first. He had both sets of it. Yeah, you showed me. I think again you have the pocket version too as well. Yeah,
it's in my car.
Yeah, keep it.
It's part of my emergency gaming package.
That's actually where we keep it too. So we keep it in Ashley's car. So
we've got a copy in Holly's car too.
Yeah, well, we keep one everywhere. Yeah.
We're ready to play Hive.
So thank you, Sean, for showing me Hive.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
So my next game, I've already forgotten. I'm so touched. Oh, Carcassonne.
Carcassonne, yeah. Okay.
You've played Carcassonne.
I have not. I know. Blasphemy.
So this is the game that got Holly into games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, well, Holly's been up for whatever. Like, if I want to do it bad enough, I can drag her in, and she'll do it.
She'll stick it out.
She loved Carcassonne. We must have played it 25 times in a row. Mm-hmm. Just like,
oh really?
Loved. Just
awesome. Yeah,
liked making the pictures, feeling clever when you finish your buildings. You get lucky, that dopamine you get when you make a huge castle all just work out that you didn't think you'd even finish. So
almost got the full bug into her.
Yeah,
but a few more of those.
That was sort of Holly's gateway. That's how because I was at the point where I'd just gotten heavy hitters and a couple of other things, and I'm at that moment when you first start getting games, like where you're like, oh, well, I think I want every game.
Yeah.
I want
all the games.
And we were in Best Buy, and I was like, hey, I bet you they sell games here. And she's like, no. And I found it in the back. So I had to buy it out of principle.
Yeah, of course.
Because I just watched like a Shut Up, Sit Down about Carcassonne, and I loved their take on the guy on the cover is like, she's smiling because he'll never finish or something like that. Yeah. I can't remember what they said. But
I've looked at it enough, so I do have the general idea of what's going on in Carcassonne. I just haven't ever. I'm not at this point in my hobby. I'm not interested in purchasing it, but I haven't ever also seen it where like a pickup game to hop into just yet. You guys were playing it not too long ago over at the game store. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. I'll break it out and play with you.
We'll have to pull it out there.
And Ashley might really like it too.
Yeah, she may force another game into the big pile that's building up
behind
the table.
It's a good one for like the semi-casual. Like Holly loves and is smart enough, of course, to play any game that I put in front of her. But will she want to?
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, Ashley's a great opponent on anything that once she gets past the rules, her eyes have to glaze over for about 30 minutes, and then I have to repeat the rules about 5 more times. And then once she's got them, she's not easy to beat. So yeah,
we can make a whole other video about the threshold of when you gotta stop helping them.
Yeah, I know.
And start getting competitive.
That's what I do. Yeah, at some point I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna stop saying stuff because she seems like she's got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so one other game that I really am appreciative of for the scope of it. And just what it has to offer is Mage Knight, and Mage Knight was one of the very first games I got. I kind of dived right in. It was like people talked about this being a really high weight rating. I looked it up just before we started this video, and it's somewhere. I think it was maybe a 4.36 out of 5 on BGG. So pretty high up there. And so I sat down with that rule set, and again a little intimidated on the ideas, like maybe this is going to be too heavy of a game for me to start out with. But that going through that process of learning that game wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it could have been, and I ended up being able to pick it up without too much difficulty, and so that gave me a lot of confidence going further into any games. Like I'm not afraid of a heavy weight rating. If anything, on heavy weight ratings, I'm mainly just thinking how long is this game going to take to play. So that's the only thing with the weight ratings that kind of maybe sometimes hold me back a little bit. But it's also just a wonderful solo game, and it's always great to have it's a pretty epic solo game to play. And you finish it too, because there's this whole thing that's going on with campaigns. There's always, and I kind of love and hate campaigns at this point. I know a lot of people that have been in the hobby for a while, they don't care for campaign games at all, and everything's getting a campaign nowadays. But Mage Knight, it only takes about 8 hours, but you're done. Once you're done, you're done. So I'll sit it on the table.
A whole campaign in 8 hours?
Well, it's just one run of the game is about 8 hours, which feels like a campaign in a sense, because you have all of these different kind of stories you're developing, personal stories, like, oh, that was the time I took the dragon down in the dungeon over there, and then that was that big battle against that city over there where we ransacked it and barely survived. So there's a whole lot of neat stuff going on in that game. Wonderful solo game. I'm always going to keep it in my collection, I believe, even if I only get it out once every year or two even. But every now and then I'll get the itch, and I want to play a heavy game, and it's just going to be me, and I'll put it down, and I'll usually just spend 2 or 3 days playing it, just play a few hours at a time and keep coming back to it through the week. But I really love that game. It's a good one. I'm very thankful that it's out there.
Well, I tell you, that's one I've heard so much about, but I've never played it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Twilight Imperium. Like you hear a whole lot about it, but then you're like, 8 hours. Can't play Twilight Imperium by yourself. You can play Mage Knight by yourself. So that is a game that you can experience. This game that's been it came out in 2011. So and it's the Mage Knight series has been out since 2000. And but this is a very different game from the original Mage Knight series of games. But yeah,
were the clicks?
Yeah, I think
I actually have those.
Oh, do you?
And for years, I was hearing people talk about Mage Knight and how great the game. But I was like, that click game, that wasn't that fun.
Yeah.
I've got them. Have you ever played it?
I have not. No, my best friend, he's got fond memories of growing up playing. They were playing Mage Knight, and they would like set up trains and stuff, because I guess you're kind of playing it on a you can kind of do whatever you want to and just
they had like
rules on it.
They had little maps that came with like the bigger packages of them, but they'd sell them in these little tubular booster pack kind of things, and so you get some random assortment of stuff. It was kind of like Pokemon cards and stuff like that. It was all in that same kind of craze is what they were fighting on, and it was a lot cheaper than Warhammer 40K.
You still got some kind of a war kind of feel, because it's a similar kind of feeling, more or less. That
a little skirmish, kind of a skirmish thing and stuff. Hero Clicks, which I never really played, did the same thing, but they took the Marvels, they took all those kind of things, and they made up Marvel, and then they sold it the same way. Yeah,
way before getting into board games, I remember seeing some people playing the Hero Clicks, and I was like, that looks cool, but it's too busy with other stuff at the time to get into it, I guess. I don't know. We'll
need to do a video on like really old games.
Yeah.
I've got a few.
I knew some people that were super into that game. They'd play it all like every chance they got. They had their whole setup with all their hero clicks.
Have you ever seen the huge versions? There was a Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
They had these Cyberpunk figures. They're like this tall.
Oh, wow.
And they had big bases with like dice and stuff in them.
Yeah, it's a handful. Yeah. Yeah, so these games already get big enough, but Mage Knight's a pretty good sized box on its own. But man, you get a lot of game out of that, so it's a good one. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So my next one's like right over here.
So we're at Sean's house, so he has all his games here. I didn't feel like dragging all this stuff over here. I'm sure I'll put some pictures.
I have no idea where my Carcassonne is.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Castles of Burgundy. So now you get to...
you want me to tell you why I'm thankful?
Yeah.
I'm thankful for two reasons. One.
Yeah.
One reason is it was our first game together. Yeah. See, I backed this on GameFound. Was it GameFound or Kickstarter?
I think they at least finished on GameFound. It's hard to tell. A lot of people now, they go on Kickstarter and then they go to GameFound. But yeah, it was crowdsourced. And
it was crowdsourced. I'm sorry, GameFound, if it was you. Or I don't care if Kickstarter's set.
Yeah.
So, but the I had backed this and I wanted to play it real bad, but also we had I just joined this club. We have a local place in town where you can come play a board game club and stuff. And Owen was teaching the older or last version of this.
The Leah 20th anniversary edition. Yeah.
So I was like, hot damn, I don't have to read the rule book. I could just learn here. And so it was our first, and then that's when we got to talking about making videos and stuff like that and kind of launched that whole thing.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm thankful for is teaching me that sometimes ugly games are fun.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. I could have mentioned Wingspan on that one, but yeah. It is a pretty. That's a bad. Wingspan's pretty. It's just the theme, I guess. But yeah.
Well, this one, like maybe take a chance on the Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Another one where the previous version was just dog ugly, and the new one's like glorious and beautiful. So yeah.
They're doing this with Food Chain Magnet right now. I can't remember. I don't know if this is Awakened Realms that did this update. I can't remember I can't remember who's doing the Food Chain Magnet one right now, but they're doing this big, pretty, because that game's ugly. Like, you look at the older one, I remember you were saying you looked at it and you're like, this game looks like I'll just pass. Even though it had really cool mechanics.
Yeah, I think what made me pass on that Food Chain Magnet was the thought that you could lose in the first round, because I would always do that.
Apparently that's a Splotter design. It's like you can't just fumble your way through a game with them. But yeah, Castles of Burgundy, that's a good one.
I'm glad it exists. I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, it's near and dear to the hearts, and that's awesome though. Yeah, it's always going to have that sentimental value too. I could have thought about that myself, even talking about that was the first game that we got to play together. I even went and I was looking at a review for Windward because I think I just purchased it, and Sean's video actually popped up, and then I was like, that looks like the guy that I played the other day, played Castles of Burgundy with, and I was like, yeah, I think that is him. And I went and commented on it. I was like, hey, I think we played a game of Castles in Burgundy the other weekend, and that was kind of initial rapport, I guess, that we started. So yeah, it's fun. Great game. Good job, whoever started it. Did Aaliyah start Castles?
It's got a
Steffenfield. Good job.
Yeah, it's got a Ravensburger on the back.
Yeah. So maybe Ravensburger started it, and then you got.
I know Awaken Realms teamed up with them to kind of do the production.
Yeah, it's confusing when you get so many different production companies together on these games. So the last one that I'm going to mention for tonight is it's a little game, and we actually played it not too long ago. We did a playthrough of this. Is Here to Slay, and that's a game that was made by the same people that did Unstable Unicorns, and which Unstable Unicorns it's fine for what it is. It's kind of a Uno-esque kind of game, but man, they really stepped it up. I think with Here to Slay, it's a lot of fun in a small package. It's cheap. It's a great gateway game, super easy to teach, and I've gotten friends that still don't really get into board games that really like it. I've been able to gift it out quite a few times. Again, had a lot of fun. It's one that Ashley and I have played together quite a bit. We've always had a good time getting it out, and again, it's easy to pull out with people that aren't super big gamers. So I'm really thankful that I have an option for that, and a game that I really truly enjoy every time I play it, even though it's it's like there's a decent amount of luck involved with the game, but there's enough strategy that you feel good when you curry that luck into your own favor, and I really enjoy that game quite a bit. So
yeah, it was a cute game. I really liked it.
Yeah, it's not big robots and space monsters. There are monsters though.
There are monsters.
So that's part of the reason why I like it so much.
It's still it's in there.
I'm more of a fantasy guy anyway, so it's got more of the fantasy element to it. But good job, Unstable Unicorns, for making Here to Slay. You should continue to make games as good as that instead of some of the games that you've been making. But good job making that one.
My last one that I'm super thankful for, and I'm more or less just thankful it exists, because I've played it showed me that occasionally I'll buy everything for a Kickstarter and actually play it. Mm-hmm. Is something dink?
Oh, that was just I think my phone's still going off.
Okay.
I usually just ignore it and slowly go over there and fix it while I'm talking. But continue.
I'm so used to a camera shutting off in the middle of a sentence or something.
Do you want to restart, or you can continue from here?
I can just go.
All right, go for it.
So, I'm super thankful that Cthulhu Death May Die exists. You can choose. Nope, now I missed it up.
Oh, okay. Wait, what am I choosing?
To cut or not to cut. So.
Oh.
Okay.
That's fine. I'll keep it all. So, go ahead. Cthulhu. Yeah.
So Cthulhu Death May Die, I played it all. Mm-hmm. It's the only game I've ever bought so much of and played all of it. And I'm just really thankful that it just exists. Just because it's my favorite game. I love it.
Yeah. Well, you got to.
We also did a playthrough of that.
Yeah, your favorite game.
We lost so bad.
God, that game, man.
We lost so bad. It's never.
I think it's one of those games. I feel like it's one of those games that I would need to play just a little more to get used to, because you really have to throw yourself into crazy zone to be able to do good on that game. You have to put yourself at risk for completely going absolutely insane.
You'll get it next time.
I think I'm a little too scared. I'm like, I don't want to get too crazy, but the game is all about getting crazy and getting super powerful.
We'll get that dynamite on those moose and get them on the spaceship.
It's funny. I've seen that mentioned. So that must just be a super popular mission because it's so silly. I've seen that mentioned so many times since we played that.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Well. Yeah. So those. Do you have anything else to add on that?
Nope. That's it.
I think that's all of the games, not all of the games that we're thankful for, but just a handful of sweet mentions that we have towards some of these games that are, again, particularly near and dear to the heart, and ones that we just really appreciate for being inside the game hobby, and
absolutely,
they serve such important places for us. And so thank you all for making those all you designers out there that are, I don't know how you put your heads together and make some of these games as wonderful as you do, but we're very, very thankful for you guys as well. So I think that's about all we got to say though for today, guys. I hope you enjoy this kind of content. If you do, a couple of those free clicks on the screen, it really helps to support out channels like mine and like Sean's. So we can't thank you enough on this thankful video when you do. But as always, do what is right for you. And until next time, I hope you all are enjoying the games that you have. And I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Until next time, take care. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching.